Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I am one half, Anthony Carboni, and to my right is the other half, Justin Vilche. And it's been another week, another long week for the both of us, but we are back a week later after the last pod called Fraud Watch. You should definitely check that out. I'll leave a link in the description for that. But yeah, pretty intense week. The Maple Leafs lost two games, so we're definitely going to talk about that. Two teams they should be beating. We're going to talk about the playoff race, a blockbuster trade that went down this past Friday night, and also discuss what I experienced yesterday at the Toronto Maple Leafs outdoor practice. So, without further ado, let's introduce, or for Justin to say what's up to the channel. So, Justin, what's going on?
It was good, bro. Everything good, bro. Yeah, pretty, not great week at all as a Leaf fan. But we will discuss it. Huge moves in the NHL, just absolutely massive, just blown away by what happened. And yeah, bro, like let's get to it, cause like, bro, let's go.
Let's get into it. But first, before we get into like the all the stuff around the league, I want to talk about where I was yesterday during the day, the Toronto Maple Leafs outdoor practice. Now you're probably wondering, Carboni, why are you as a Habs fan, as you can see over there, at this Leafs outdoor practice? Well, my girlfriend's a massive Leafs fan, so I'm like, you know what? Let's go. Why don't we try and get a signature for your jersey? First of all, I drop her off right by it's at Prince of Wales Park. The last couple years, it has been at Nathan Phillips Square. It was very easy for everyone to go see the players. Okay, we go to this Prince of Wales Park in Etobicoke. Okay, I drop my girlfriend off to go walk over to the practice. They're already on the ice, so we're a bit late already as it is. It took me 20
When did we
minutes.
start?
The thing started, I don't know when I think it started at like 10 or
11?
11 or something. Whatever. We got there at like
Oh,
11:30. She went to go to the buses to go with her cousin to go wait for the players because that's all they really care about is getting signatures because by the buses. But man, it took me like 20 minutes to find parking. Oh my goodness. I could not.
uh,
It was so disorganized and so just people were parking everywhere. There was like no parking here, but I saw cars like across like both sides of the curb
yeah,
and you literally can't even park. There was cops. They didn't care. I literally had to park on this curb probably, I don't know, this big. This curb was this big,
mhm,
and I had to park my car there, kind of almost blocking two driveways just so I could go and like see these players. And then when I get there, okay, everyone's waiting for the players. They're hopping off the ice. I see a couple of guys. Grabenkin. I saw Grabenkin. He was more than happy to sign autographs. That guy was
oh yeah,
he looked so happy to be signing stuff. So that was pretty cool to see. Domi as well, a guy who really loved to sign stuff as well. Willie, I respect
right.
William Nylander. He went around to every single part of the line to sign people's stuff. Disappointed in guys like Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews who, signed maybe a couple things and then hopped right on the bus right away. Something I didn't expect from the captain of the team to not go up to at least majority of the fans like William Nylander did. And a guy who I didn't really see sign much, Morgan Riley. Oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure he heard Justin's comments over these past couple weeks, maybe even years, and is like, you know what? Maybe I'm done with this fan base. So I couldn't believe that, but
Hey, we're done with you, bro.
yeah,
We're done with you.
I think Morgan Riley might be done with the fans too. I think he's tired of it, but I don't know. There's the whole event just left me like I'm like, man, I'm never going to this again. Like
Yeah,
oh my goodness. Like if it's at the same place as it was this time, I was hearing parents complaining like a lot of the people that were trying to get signatures were adults too. I'm like, man, there's kids looking to get signatures from the players, and all I see is adults like Matthew sign my hat. I'm like, guys, like you got
bro, they're trying to sell them, bro. They're
it,
trying to get money.
yeah, but like don't like they literally took work off to go see that. Like you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you're missing out on money to potentially whatever like get signatures. But I don't know, man. It was cool. It was alright. It was whatever. I did get a picture with Joe Bowen, so I might pop that up on
Yeah,
here. If I
SQB
can,
Joe Bo.
if my
Oh,
editing's
Owen.
Joe Bowen, W commentator. He was more than happy to take a photo. Everyone was focused on the players. I saw Joe Bowen cut across. I'm like, let me go get a photo with him because he's a W man.
Yeah,
So we ended up getting a photo of
thought
Joe
he was
Bowen.
sneaky.
Exactly. I was sneaky with it.
Mm.
And I'll pop that up on the screen at some point. But it was pretty cool to see. But yeah, that was my little adventure yesterday. The parking was ridiculous, and it was a zoo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you ever been to
Oh,
one of those
nice.
practices before?
Uh, no, I haven't. I'm usually busy, and bro, I hate that it's like during the week, like at like
On a
11 a.m. Because like, bro,
Monday.
bro, out of all the times in the week, you do Monday at 11 a.m., bro. Like, bro, people are back to work. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't just do it on like a Saturday at like 11 a.m. Like, bro, come on, bro. But yeah, no, I have never been one. I've never been to one, but you told me that it was like a zoo and not good. So I don't know if I'll go to one in the future, but we will see. I don't know. We'll see where it takes me.
We will
But
see.
I don't know.
Now let's. I mean, we might as well just keep talking about Toronto because after
Yeah.
this took place after the horrific week they've had. They barely played any hockey. Well, let's see. They come off I think it was a 5-2 win against the Lightning on Monday. Okay, a team that is competitive. It's going to be a hard game on prime Monday Night Hockey. They beat Tampa as they have all year, 3-0 against Tampa.
Yeah.
And then you get two matchups later in the week. Later in the week, Wednesday, you got the Columbus Blue Jackets who are looking to make the playoffs. They're on a bit of a heater. And then on Saturday, a big matchup in Ottawa in the Battle of Ontario against the Sens. So Wednesday's game, let's break it down. What did you think? The Leafs did lose 5-1. 5-1. Fantilli recording his first ever hat trick in the game. The Leafs did not look good. They did not look good at all. What did you think of the game, and how concerning is it that the Leafs are getting blown out at home to a team like the Columbus Blue Jackets as the
I
Atlantic Division leaders, by the way?
mean, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say I'm worried because every team goes through this, right? Like teams will have shock losses. Like I've seen this happen many times in hockey. The Jackets I do rate. I don't care how good the Leafs are. The Jackets are a hungry team, so it didn't surprise me that the Jackets won because I did say last week on the Tuesday. I said the Jackets are rolling into town. It will be a tough matchup, and I could see them maybe taking something coming into Toronto. So that's exactly what they did. Fantilli, who's from Ontario, I think he's like from Nobleton or something, gets his hat trick. He had tons of friends and family in the crowd. That was great to
80
see.
people.
Yeah, so bro, I mean, wow, just pretty much took up a whole section of like in Scotiabank Arena, right? So we did that. Hattie, tremendous. Dude, Merzlikins put on a show. Like Merzlikins was saving pretty much everything that he saw that was coming from him. Nizy, he also got injured that game, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. But I don't think it was that serious. So, which is good, but it was kind of a bit of a concern because we were getting shelled and he got injured. So I'm like, okay, here we go again. But yeah, no, Columbus looked like the hungrier team. It was another one of those Leafs trap games during the middle of the week where they're at home playing against a lesser team, and they don't compete. That's what the Leafs have been doing for years. That's what I've noticed in this team. They'll play a lesser team during the week and they will lose, and that's it. It was the regular trap game. Sports books took tons of money, because I know tons of people took Leafs money line, right? So boom,
They
that's
robbed.
it.
They robbed
They lost.
people. They robbed people. That's what they
They
did.
they 100% robbed people, and then roll on a Saturday. I tweeted. I said I even posted on my Instagram, bro. We better beat the Sens. I cannot
We'll get
stand the Ottawa Senators.
we'll get into that. We'll get into that shortly. But yeah, I just want to say that the Leafs shouldn't be losing this badly to a team like the Columbus Blue Jackets.
No, they shouldn't.
That's unacceptable.
It should be 5-1, but again, the Jackets were hungry. Like the Jackets are
Now,
pushing for blood. The Leafs.
what are your thoughts on Dennis Hildeby? Is that going to be a player you will have in your roster for the next couple years because he didn't really perform well in that game? What do you think?
No,
Do you bring up Matt
he
Murray?
hasn't.
What does Hildeby's future look like with the Toronto Maple Leafs, in your opinion?
I think honestly, I don't really see a future with Hildeby. I'm gonna be honest. This year he really hasn't been great. I'm gonna be honest. When I watch him play, he's too small. Right? He goes down awfully quickly, and he just looks like he's afraid of the puck. I don't really know why. I don't know if he can't get a read off the shots. I don't know what it is, but it just looks like he's scared. I don't have faith in Matt Murray. I've said this for years ever since he's come to Toronto. He's had injury problems. I don't have faith. I've seen him play in a Leaf uniform, and he doesn't look good either. Okay, other than like once in a blue moon, he'll actually play well. So I'm not convinced. I don't see a future for Hill to be here. I think it's gonna be Wool because he's obviously still young, and as he could just stay healthy, he will be that guy for us. And dude, Stoli, bro, when Stoli comes back, I hope he will be the same as to what he was prior to his injury. So you could just run with them two for years to come. Then I don't really see a future for Dennis Hill to be. And I'm sorry, but you know what? And we also have another goaltender. I forget his name. It's like Archimikov or whatever, who's like playing in the minors. So it's like, bro, we don't really need Hill to be anyway. And he's shown us that honestly, he won't be missed. To be honest, if we just let him go or if we trade him away for someone in the near future.
So he is 3-3 this year with a 3.33 goals against average and 878 save percentage. So nothing special from the young goalie, but I mean the fact that they gave him like an easier matchup like the Columbus Blue Jackets, I feel like that would have been his moment, especially with the defense the way it's been playing. Would have been a great moment for him to shine, and he didn't really do that. I mean, the entire team's offense from the Tampa game really just diminished out of nowhere. One goal scored on Merzlikins. He had a great performance, which then leads to our next Toronto Maple Leafs game. Saturday night, Battle of Ontario. The Sens are looking to make the playoffs. The Senators all week did not score a goal. They could not score a goal. The
No.
New York Rangers shut them out 5-zip last Tuesday. And Thursday, the Boston Bruins in that wild card race also shut the door against the Sens, winning 2-0. So, a lot of, storylines building up for this game. It's the Battle of Ontario. The Sens have had the Leafs number for the past couple games. And, the Sens are looking.
Years.
Yeah, a couple years. The Sens are looking to make playoffs. So, this is a huge emotional game. Wool gets the start against Forsberg. And, the Leafs get the opening goal, which was good to see. Later in the game, Sens on a 4-on-3 power play tie it up, I believe. And
He's two. Yeah.
yeah, I know it was Stutzla from Sanderson. And then I was out, so I didn't watch like when it was 1-1 after it was, yeah, I didn't really watch. But I did see the goal that went in, the game winning goal in the third period. I don't know what the heck that was. I think it went off like Shen Pinto's like leg, flew up in the air, and then somehow into the back of the net.
Yeah.
And the Toronto Maple
Yeah.
Leafs lose in regulation 2-1 to the Ottawa Senators after Justin said that they cannot be losing to the Ottawa Senators, who are on Justin's fraud watch list. How
Yes.
disappointed are you in the fact that the Leafs blew this game to the Senators and lost 2-1?
I'm extremely disappointed. They disappointed me yet again. I don't know how many times I have to say I despise the Ottawa Senators, and you cannot be losing to a lesser team like the Ottawa Senators. I don't care that they are top three in the LA. I don't care that they're third place, bro. They are not good. Like it's mind boggling how ever since the bubble we've been losing to the Ottawa Senators in the regular season. How is this possible? Right? They get shut out twice in a row. Okay, earlier in the week, and then they play the Leafs, and we can't score more than one goal. Because the Ottawa Senators, bro, we had like Forsberg in there. It's not even Allmark. It wasn't even Merlinen or whatever his name is. We can't score, right? Okay, and then I don't think Nyzy was playing, right? And again, this is an issue. Okay, Nyzy's not playing. Who's playing first line left wing? Oh, Bobby McMahon. Bobby McMahon is not a first line left winger. Okay, we desperately need left winger help. Not Shanahan. Oh, Treliving. Please listen. Get me Ricard Raquel. Just do whatever you can. Finesse Dubas, please. Because there's no way that if Nyzy gets injured, Bobby McMahon is the first line. What am I seeing? Okay? There's absolutely no way this is happening. Okay? Like, our left wing depth is so, like, is non-existent. Okay? There's no way we have McMahon and then, like, Robertson. It's like, and then, like, maybe Holmberg. Or, like, what? Like, that's unbelievable.
They did have a guy make his debut. I think was it how do you say his last name? Like Quillen or something?
Whatever his name is. Bro, again, some nobody. Like, I can't have this. dude, a Stanley Cup winning team doesn't have guys like Bobby McMahon on the first line. Okay, like we can run through past champions. They don't have a guy like Bobby McMahon on the first line. Okay, like it doesn't have like Stamkos, Kucherov, Point. Are you serious? Like the Leafs, like like you can't
Landeskog,
compare.
McKinnon, Rantanen.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just not going to work. Okay. So again, if Nizy gets injured, who else do we have to replace? All right. And then again, defense. Okay. I understand. Okay, that we can bring in a guy like Chris Tanev, who I absolutely love because he sacrifices the body, right? But bro, I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself until somebody listens. We are not going to win, okay, with Morgan Riley here, okay? And the fact that him and Philip Myers doesn't work is a concern because there's no way Morgan Riley, okay, he's been here 12 years, he cannot make his defensive partner any better, okay? It's just mind blowing how we've seen Morgan Riley and Philip Myers on the first pair. How is Philip Myers on the first pair? Like what? There's literally no explanation, bro. Like how? Okay, that's an issue. And the fact that we only scored one goal, okay, the Sens scored 2 goals. He got shut out twice, and we still lost.
Yeah,
We always find a way to somehow lose the other side. If we're up 4-0, we lose. If Sens got shut out twice in a week, we still lose. It's like how?
Yeah, I definitely hit the over on the goals, expected goals for the game. It was over 5.5, and 3 goals is actually insane. I probably would have a shitload of money had I bet on under 3.5. Yeah,
Yeah.
the scoring, a little bit of a concern. I mean, you should be potting, especially the week before where you scored 7 unanswered against my Canadians. You go into Ottawa's barn where it's basically 70% Leafs fans, and you only score 1 goal. Matthews, I don't think recorded a single shot all game. Sanderson just shut him down, which I did talk about on the Game Over Network, Game Over Ottawa. You should go check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description. I talked with my buddy Nick about the Sens this past weekend. Yeah, the scoring needs, like you said, Bobby McMahon on the first line. I don't think a Stanley Cup winning team has a guy like that. A lot of people say, or I forget who it was. It might have been Craig Button that said Bobby McMahon is probably the best bottom 6 winger in the league. I think that's exactly where he belongs. Sure, he had 6 shots on net, but I mean, there's definitely better candidates for especially your first line to second line left wing. I feel like you can fix that spot, like you said. Ricard Raquel, who's on the shitty Pittsburgh Penguins, has got 25 goals or close to 25 goals right now. He could be a 30 goal scorer on the shitty Penguins.
Why not a guy like Toffoli? Like, why not him? Like, bro, trade the line, bro. There's guys there. There is guys there, and people trying to tell me, oh, Brock Nelson. Bro, he plays center. I don't want another center.
The Leafs have no issues with center. I don't know why I'm seeing a lot of center pieces that they're looking for. Like I'm looking for O'Reilly as well. Like you don't need Ryan O'Reilly. It just didn't work. First of all, I think you need
like,
to address the defense, get a better defenseman to play with Riley, and you need a left winger. The right side is full. Okay. Your center depth is fine. You're already missing JT. I think Fraser Minton should be starting in the playoffs. I think he's good enough to start in the playoffs.
Brings energy.
He brings energy. He's a young guy. He deserves to be in there. You have Camp who could play fourth line. Then you have JT Matthews. Okay, and then on your left wing, it was with Pacioretty also out too. McMahon, Robertson, Lawrence, and then the guy that played his first game, Quellen or whatever. That's it.
You see what I mean, bro? It's trash.
It's not
it's trash.
And then they only scored 2 goals in 2 games. Now they had a little bit of a break. They're off Sunday, Monday, and today. They play tomorrow against the Minnesota Wild. Kaprizov is out. They're at home.
Bro, they're gonna lose.
That is a winnable game. This is your last home game for the next month, by the way, because they go on their Western Canada / Seattle road trip, and then it's the Four Nations. So especially with the fact that Florida's only 1 point now behind you for that first Atlantic Division spot. Must-win game tomorrow against the Wild for sure, and especially before you go play McDavid and the Oilers at Rogers Place on Saturday, and before you have a long break from seeing Scotiabank Arena a must-win game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as I was saying, I want to move to the Panthers catching up. They are only 1 point now behind the Toronto Maple Leafs. Um, do you think the Maple Leafs can hold that first Atlantic Division spot? And what do you like? Do you like? What do you think's going to happen? And
Uh,
what? And if they do, which
yeah.
matchup would you want them to see? Which matchup would you want to see them? Who do you want them to play against? I
Uh,
can't even put my words together. My goodness.
do I think they'll hold on?
1 point back, but they
No,
have a game in hand.
no, I don't think they will hold on. I just think that we just lack depth, and I think it's gonna catch up to us. That's also why we're not gonna win the Stanley Cup this year. Like I'm done. It's not gonna happen, bro. And I know Leaf fans on Twitter, bro. Like when the postseason hits, bro. Oh my God, we're gonna win the cup, bro. Just stop. It's not gonna happen. Um, I don't think we're gonna win the division. Um, dude, Florida, like I know they've been also like a little shaky, but I would trust the Florida Panthers in this spot more than the Leafs. Okay, like I'm gonna just put it out there. Like it's just facts, right? And honestly, who I'd want to face in the first round, if we won the division, um, I'm still confident that we would beat the Ottawa Senators. I don't care about no regular season record, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like I don't care. Like regular season doesn't matter come postseason, bro. I would love for us to beat the Senators in five, so or even a sweep. So honestly, I would love for us to face the Ottawa Senators. Like I'm not scared of the Ottawa Senators, but yeah. Also for tomorrow's game, God, I'm not really confident in the Leafs winning tomorrow. Like that's another trap game in the Minnesota Wild without Kaprizov. Like you still have guys, you still have Matty Zukes, you still have Joel Eriksson Ek, you still have Gustafsson, who's been great this year. You have a decent defense core along with Matt Boldy and Marco Rossi, etc. So honestly, I could see the Minnesota Wild coming into Toronto and getting a win, but I don't know. But we'll see how tomorrow goes.
So I'm looking at the both schedules for the Panthers and the Leafs. The Panthers play one, two, three, 4 or 5 games before the break. The Toronto Maple Leafs play 5 games as well. The Leafs got the Minnesota Wild at home. Then they've got the Oilers, Flames, Kraken, and Canucks on the road. The Panthers play the Kings tomorrow at home, the Blackhawks at home, the Islanders at home. Then they go to Washington and they go against the Blues. So potentially, and they play the Senators. My bad. They play the Senators at home too. So they,
We'll beat the Suns.
so they could probably beat the Kings, probably beat the Blackhawks, probably beat the Islanders, probably beat the Sens, probably beat the Blues, maybe lose to the Capitals. So they can go 5-1 in that stretch. The Leafs, it's tough, man. Like that Western Canadian swing is a bit tough. So especially when you're playing with matchups like McDavid and Draisaitl, and then you got the Hungry Flames fighting for a playoff spot. You got the Canucks who are fighting for a playoff spot. You got Seattle who might be fighting for a playoff spot. Who knows, man? This like we're gonna really see what
It's
this
gonna
league.
change.
We're gonna see
We
what
can
this
have
team.
to.
We're gonna see what this team's made of, man. Especially because how close the Atlantic Division has become with these teams. As for a
Yeah.
matchup, do I think the Maple Leafs will win the division? I'll stick with it. I'll stick with my prediction. They will win the Atlantic Division. I'll give you two scenarios though. I still have no idea who they play. They would play. It's very tough because if they were to win the division, that whole wild card race is with the Rangers, the Sens, if you count the third spot in the Atlantic Division, the Lightning, the Bruins, the Habs, the Flyers, the Red Wings. There's seven teams, all within like 1.3, 2.3 points of each other. The Atlantic Division from third to like seventh, from the third to seventh Atlantic Division spot is a difference of 3 points. 3 points. That's
Mhm.
it. That's it. That's it. That's nothing. It's so tight.
Would you consider this? Would you consider the Eastern Conference to be weaker than the Western Conference, or harder, or better than the Western Conference
I
because there's so many teams fighting
Oh,
for
I
that
would
playoff
say
spot? Does that mean?
better for sure. All like the shit teams are in the West. The Preds, the Blackhawks, the Ducks, the Sharks. They're all trash. Like Buffalo, I feel like beats all those teams, and they're the worst in the Eastern Conference. So
Okay,
if you ask me, I think the Eastern Conference is way harder
okay,
and more
okay.
competitive than the Western Conference. We already know every single season who the juggernauts of the Western Conference are. It's always the Avs.
Yeah,
It's always the Oilers, Vegas, Dallas. We know already. Okay. with the
Hmm.
East, it's so different. Like this year, it's the Capitals. Last year it was the Rangers. Now they're in a wild card spot. So I feel like it's harder for sure. Man, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens and which matchup would be best for the Maple Leafs. Um, Obviously, I would want to play a shitty team like the Flyers. That would be great if you were first in the if you were first. Let's okay.
Yeah.
We'll go if they were first in the division. They play wildcard team. If they play the Flyers, great. Okay. If they play the Red Wings, I think they smack the Red Wings. I don't think the Red Wings are that good.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. We don't
really,
smack the Red Wings.
you don't
No,
think
that's
so?
not. No, that. No, not a chance. Not a chance. The Red Wings would give us such a hard time. Bro, I don't want to. I don't want to see Detroit. Detroit's got something about them
Okay.
that I just
What
don't want to see.
about Columbus? They could play Columbus. I feel like they could beat Columbus.
We could, but
Montreal. What do you think of the Habs?
it would be Montreal. Montreal would be one of the easier matchups, just like the Sens.
You think so? Because I've talked to some fans. I,
100%.
I talked to my buddy who's a Leafs fan. He thinks they would lose to Montreal.
No, we
I'm just saying. Who knows with history? The Sens? Do you think you lose to the Senators?
would 100% beat the Sens. I don't care about the regular season,
Okay.
bro. We would fill up the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. That's in the middle of nowhere. Like, bro, I don't care about the Sens. We would
Boston
beat them in
Bruins.
5.
Boston Bruins.
I don't want to see them. I don't care how trash they are. I don't want
Now,
to see them.
do you think if the Toronto Maple Leafs played the Boston Bruins in the first round again, do you think the Leafs would win or lose? You tell me.
I would say they lose because I haven't seen them win.
That's crazy. The Bruins are frauds. Oh my goodness. You think they'd lose?
I've never seen them win in my life, so I don't know. I would have to say no.
You know how crazy that is that you've never seen the Leafs beat the Bruins in a playoff series? And they've played 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times, man. 4 times.
And I can't say that they can because I've never seen it happen. So
The Lightning?
I'm gonna say
The Lightning? Did they lose to the
Lightning, yeah, we've had their number. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And last but not least, the matchup I really want to see, the New York Rangers. Do you think they beat the New York Rangers?
No.
No chance. No
Oh,
chance they beat the Rangers. I'm
bro,
sorry. No
the,
way.
the, the Leafs would shit themselves when if they have to go to like MSG
In
like game 5.
In playoffs,
Game
with that intro that they have, oh my goodness, dude. Like, it's over. It's
I don't
over.
care how good the Rangers are, but the Leafs wouldn't be able to deal with that pressure in New York.
Dude,
Like, not a chance. Go to MSG.
Playoff Igor is actually like insane. Like Wall or Solars are not stopping Igor. Like that's not happening. And then if they were,
Dude, the Leafs.
so you think they finish second in the division? Who do you think they play? Do they play Tampa? Do they play Boston? Do they play the Sens? Do they play the Habs? Or do they play the Red Wings? Like who gets that third Atlantic spot?
I don't know, man. I really want to see. I really want to see like Leafs Sens or Leafs Red Wings.
Yeah.
Like a Leafs Red Wings matchup would be so fire. Well, also Leafs Sens. Like I know we would kill the Sens in 5, but like something about the Red Wings. Like I don't know. Like Detroit. Like ooh. Like I've seen Detroit
Motor
in the playoffs.
City.
And, like I kind of
Motor City. Oh my goodness.
like Detroit's cool, and they're kind of on a heater. Like hello, Detroit's fighter. Detroit's there. They're only 3 points. They're literally only 3 points back out of third. Like.
So are the
It could realistically
so are the
Red Wings.
Canadians. The Lightning are also
Yeah.
1 point back, and the Bruins are literally the Lightning are 2 points back, and the Red Wings the Bruins are 1 point back. Huge race here.
Like
I would love to
Yeah.
see. I would love to see the Leafs play the Sens. Battle of Ontario would be insane in the
Oh,
first
yeah.
round, and I think it would be an easy matchup for the Leafs. Like you said.
yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. Bro, I'm not scared of I'm not scared of Forsberg, Olmark, or Marilina. Like, who are those guys, bro? Like, because they beat the Leafs in a meaningless game in January. Oh my God, Ottawa, bro, get out of here, bro. Like, I'm so tired of Sens fans. And then the next day they beat the Utah Hockey Club, bro. Okay, congratulations, bro.
Yeah, I
like
want
with
to
Marilina.
I want to talk about that. Okay. I brought this up with Nick on the Game Over Network, which I'll link below. The Sens have won 3 back-to-back weekends in a row. What? Excuse me? Without Linus Allmark, they managed to beat the Leafs Saturday night, then beat the Utah Hockey Club,
Utah.
who that was this. I watched that Senators game. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen the Sens play up until period 3. They were so bad. They did not look good. They were taking penalties. They looked so tired, and they somehow pulled off that win. Very gutsy performance, I will say, from the Sens. The weekend before on Hockey Day in Canada, they beat the Bruins in what the hell, whatever that game was, 6-5
Like
shootout win. And then the next day, they go to New Jersey and beat the Devils 2-1. And then I don't even know what happened the weekend before, but they won back-to-back there too. So Ottawa, man, they're not playing around. They haven't made playoffs since 2017. 8 seasons since they made playoffs. 8 seasons. They're hungry. I could see them getting in. I'm not gonna lie. I can see them getting in. I can see them getting into the playoffs. Do I want it to? Absolutely not. Absolutely, I don't want to see them get in. I want them to suffer. I cannot emphasize this enough. I do not like the Ottawa Senators. I cannot stand the Senators. They're just like, oh man, like they find the Kachuk, Batherson. Like Batherson's still on his drought. Giroux and hasn't scored in 14 games. He scored the other night. And then Kachuk hasn't scored in 10 games. He finally got a goal. So somehow they're winning games without those guys scoring. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. However, they may or may not fall. They've got the Washington Capitals on Thursday. So we'll see what happens there. But man, intense. Is that what you? Was that you in the chat the other day?
Obviously,
I was gonna say this. We got a chat. We were live and we got a chat from. And Nick said, "Oh yeah, Justin says 5-1 Caps." So I'm like, could that have been like the Age of Sports podcast, Justin? Obviously.
Oh. Did you see what else I said? I was like, bro, the Suns actually scored more than 2 goals in a game. Like, I was like, bro, because they scored like 4 or 5 or something against Utah.
Like, I'm not gonna run into the crib. Like, that's Justin, obviously. So there we go. Justin out here commenting that the Sens are gonna lose. Oh man, we'll see if they fall. They are looking pretty decent now. True test against the Eastern Conference leaders at the moment, Thursday. And yeah, we just talked about the playoff race. I want to talk briefly about Elias Pettersson before we move on to our final topic of the day. Rumors are circulating that he is indeed interested, well, not interested, but he may or may not be getting traded to the Buffalo Sabres. Do you think he goes to the Buffalo Sabres out of all the teams in the league?
I saw this.
What do you think? Is he the wrong guy to trade? Like, is it Miller or is it Pettersson? Because I'm pretty sure Pettersson wants to stay.
I'm most certain it's Miller, and I think he is the reason as to why this is all happening. I'm pretty sure it's JT Miller. Honestly, bro, why don't you just trade JT Miller to Buffalo? Nobody wants to play in Buffalo anyway. Like, bro, why just send JT Miller to Buffalo? Like, nobody wants to deal with him. Pettersson, the thing is, like, I don't know, like, he hasn't played up to his contract ever since he signed it. But again, we've mentioned this. I'm pretty sure it's because of JT Miller being there and like how they don't get along, right? So I think that's the reason. I saw a trade package. It was like Bowen Byram or Owen Power and like somebody else. I mean,
I think Cousins.
I don't understand why.
I think Cousins was involved.
Oh yeah, Dylan Cousins. I don't see why they would trade Bowen Byram, even though they just got him last year for Casey Middlestad. Like, what is the purpose of that? Like, you got Bowen Byram for a reason, right? Because you wanted to stack up on defense with Owen Power, with Darlene, right? So, I mean, honestly, Power really hasn't done much in Buffalo anyway. So I think maybe giving him another shot somewhere else, maybe a new change of scenery would be good for Owen Power more than Bowen Byram. Personally, that's what I think. But I don't know, like, Buffalo out of all places for Miller, like for Pettersson, really? No. Like, is that really the place? Like, I don't think that's the place. But like, because weren't the Canes talking about getting Pettersson or Miller like before they got Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah, this is definitely the Hurricanes were definitely interested in both of those guys. I heard a lot of rumors of Miller going there, but obviously, since we're going to talk about what happened with the Hurricanes, teams like the Bruins, I've become interested in Miller. I know the Rangers as well. I would like to see him go to the Rangers. I feel like that would have been a fantastic move. Swap him for Zibanejad because Zibanejad has been awful for that Rangers team, and gives Miller goes back over. So
I think Pettersson would make more sense to go to the Rangers than Miller because remember the Rangers kind of have struggled like. Their left wing situation is kind of all over the place, and they don't really have left wingers. I think the last Kreider's aging, right? And like, who's their other left winger?
Panarin.
Oh yeah, okay, obviously Panarin. But remember, like, I think it was the summertime. We were like, oh, like the Rangers need a winger. What if you just put Pedersen at the wing in New York?
But what would you
Like,
give up?
why
What,
not?
what would a trade for Pedersen include? I'm thinking it includes defense like Miller. It definitely includes maybe Will Cooley, and then maybe a pick,
Yeah, maybe.
something like
Right?
that. I would say
I
so.
don't see why.
I wouldn't think like they would need to give up a guy like Panarin, Zibanejad, Trocheck for
No, no.
Pedersen, especially with the way he's playing. I feel like a trade like
But
maybe
weren't they shopping Zibanejad anyway?
they were shopping Zibanejad, so maybe it could just be a one for one swap for all I know.
I could see that.
But
I don't see why not.
I mean, yeah, this whole Vancouver situation, like, I mean, they did just get a massive win against St. Louis yesterday, 5-2.
Yeah.
I mean, the situation could end up where none of them get traded at all and they make playoffs and then nobody talks about it anymore. But it's still, I mean, it's still going to be a lingering like issue. It's not just going to go away, and this could affect the team long term. So I feel trading one of them is the better move. You already committed to a guy like Elias Pettersson with the $11.5 million long term contract. Miller, I think you could get a pretty decent return for sending him away to like the Rangers, the Bruins. I feel like the Bruins have some draft picks you can get, maybe some defense. I don't know, or like even the Rangers for sure. But I feel like moving JT Miller would be the move. As for Pedersen and Buffalo, to me, I cannot envision that happening at all. For Buffalo's sake, do they really need to keep on taking on more players? That's just where they go to die, apparently, because they are last in the Eastern Conference as it is. They are 8 games under 500. Terrible. And it does not look like they're going to make the playoffs. So would Pedersen really want to get traded this season to the Sabres? Probably not. So I don't think Buffalo's going to get those guys. I did see the package. I think it was either Bowen Byram, Dylan Cousins, and a pick. But the Canucks did say they were interested in Owen Power. So imagine getting one of
Yeah.
those young studs playing with Quinn Hughes. I mean, the back line's looking pretty decent, and then you finally get rid of supposedly the problem in JT Miller, and then maybe the Canucks can do well. But maybe they don't trade any of them. They like I said, they just won yesterday.
They just figured
Miller also fought Shen in the beginning of the game. So maybe Vancouver finds their game, they make playoffs, so nobody talks about it. But we'll see what happens.
that's true.
It's really hard to tell with that team. The final topic for the day. So I'm at work. Okay, I open my phone and I see this guy over here, Justin, spamming. No way! Guess what just happened? Okay, I'm like, all right, let's see what happened. I open my phone. Okay, I see Mikko Rantanen traded from the Colorado Avalanche. Oh my goodness!
The moves.
First time in a long time that we've seen a superstar get traded mid-season like this. Unbelievable. Now, for some context, Mikko Rantanen's contract was up for expiring like this upcoming offseason, so he's going to look for a new deal. Okay. The Colorado Avalanche didn't know if they were going to re-sign him or not. Maybe those contract negotiations would have begun after playoffs were done. So he gets dealt in a three-way deal. Mikko Rantanen goes to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange basically for Martin Necas. But also, we'll talk about the three teams here. The Hurricanes, Avalanche, and Blackhawks make a deal. Rantanen and Taylor Hall go to the Hurricanes. Huge. Necas and Jack Drury from the Hurricanes go to the Colorado Avalanche. And a third-round pick plus 50% retain on Rantanen's salary from the Blackhawks. So the Hurricanes upgrade on offense significantly with adding a depth piece like Taylor Hall and adding a big-time goal scorer like Rantanen. The Avalanche get a depth piece in Jack Drury, and they get Martin Necas to play with McKinnon. Is there a winner in this trade?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how the Carolina Hurricanes didn't win this deal. I mean, they get Mikko Rantanen, who's like a stud. Like, hello, he's in conversation for like
he
top
plays
10
with his Finnish partner Sebastian Aho.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, hello, like, are you serious? Like Mikko Rantanen, Aho, Svechnikov on the first line, and then bro, they also got Taylor Hall. Who still shocking how he won the Hart like years ago. By the way, now he's considered a depth piece. Like what? But again, Taylor Hall can still do a thing, right? Like look, remember, like he was decent last year as well, right? So I mean, that's still good from the Hurricanes' perspective. It made a lot of sense from the Avs perspective. I mean, it's sad to see the Moose go, but the thing is, he wanted too much money, and the Avs were like, no, you were getting paid lower than McKinnon. So I understand from both parties, right? Like Mikko Rantanen wanted more. Avs were like, no, because we don't think you're better than McKinnon, right? So I understand both. I saw a number that was floating around. They offered Mikko like 11.75 for 8 years. I personally think that's reasonable for Mikko Rantanen, especially with the cap going up as well. I think sometime in the near future, like I don't see why. But again, if Mikko Rantanen wants more money, then he wants more money, right? He's a Stanley Cup champ, right? And he still scores 40 plus goals a season on his day, like in a season, right? So I understand that. But the Avs couldn't re-sign him, so they did some. They got a player, Marty Necas, who is not a scrub, right? They got someone who literally replaces Mikko Rantanen, who also makes like 6.5 per year, I think, for the next 2 seasons, which is absolutely great. Great value on the deal. And bro, they got a friggin' depth piece in Jack Drury as well. So he came, who I think scored, by the way, against the Rangers
He did.
On Sunday. So that was really funny. But yeah, I mean, look, Avs did their thing. They knew they weren't going to resign. They got players. Kane's also going for a Stanley Cup, right? They got a huge player and Taylor Hall. And you know what? Hawks are just in there rebuilding, so they got a pick. So it's like, I mean, I think it's a win for all teams really involved.
Yeah, I'm liking Necas on the Avs so far. He already got like 2 points with in that game against the Rangers the other day. The Hurricanes look so much better now. I remember us talking with our predictions for the season that their forward group was not looking as strong. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
they go and get Mikko Rantanen, who's a goal scorer, the Moose. They also add Taylor Hall as a depth piece to play third line, I would assume. And it's not even the trade deadline yet. So they're looking solid, the Hurricanes. Now, the Avalanche perspective. So, the reports were they traded Mikko Rantanen because he was asking reportedly for $14 million. $14 million to re-sign with the Avalanche. The Avalanche were just like, there's no chance we're going to pay you more than McKinnon. We're going to trade you now so at least we can get something from it, which was smart. Very, very, very smart that they managed to get a guy who, I mean, Nate just honestly, with the development, maybe could have been their best franchise player for the next couple seasons. So they get a guy like that over back to the Avalanche. But what I saw the other day was that apparently Rantanen was willing to take a pay cut. I don't know if you saw that, but he was willing to negotiate a pay cut so he could stay with the Colorado Avalanche. Do you think like that's true? Like, what do you realistically think? Did the Avs really make the right move in trading him? Like, what do you genuinely think about him saying that he would have been willing to take a pay cut?
I think they did because just because he says he's going to take a pay cut doesn't actually mean he will take a pay cut. Like, again, he could just say that.
And then like, wait out, and then wait, and then not sign, and then he fucks the team.
Yeah. And then he could just get more money from a team and then just be like, oh, well, forget you guys, right? And then the Avs are like, oh, so you're not going to sign with us, and we could have traded you in the offseason, right? So it's like, I'm at like mid-season, like how they just did, right? So honestly, I think the Avs did a good job here. And bro, the Avs, like, just because they traded Mikko Rantanen, it's not that like, oh, they're like Stanley Cup pictures out the window. Like, they could still go on a deep run anyway with Marty Necas there. Like, it's not like they still like, it was obviously not an upgrade. Like, I'm not saying Necas is an upgrade from Rantanen, but dude, he can still do it. Like, Necas is still a good player, right? So they just swapped. So I mean, it's good GMing right there, honestly. And honestly, bro,
who knows? Necas could be like a underrated point scorer on the Avalanche, considering that the entire Hurricanes roster is not at a point per game. So he plays with the league MVP and probably next a 2-time league MVP after the way this season's going. He could probably rack up a fair amount of points in this little stunt with the Avs, and then we'll see what happens in the playoffs. What was I?
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Also,
continue.
I hope. If a team calls, because apparently the Hurricanes were talking about Mitch Marner.
Yes,
I hope if another
that's what I want to talk
calls,
about. That's what I want to talk about. As soon as you're done here.
I pray to Jesus that if a team calls and offers a package for Mitch Marner, I hope Brad Treliving picks up the phone, okay, and is like, yes. And I hope he accepts the deal, because I'm telling you right now, if we can get something for Marner, I will love Brad Treliving. And if he could get a package similar to what the Colorado Avs GM did for Mikko Rantanen, I will be over the moon happy that they can actually get something in return, like a good piece. Okay. Oh my, please
Now,
somebody call and give us an offer,
now
please,
the Hurricanes
please.
before they ended up trading for Rantanen, they were figuring out and talking about maybe potentially trading for Mitch Marner. He has a modified no movement clause though, so whatever the hell that means. So I don't know if he is allowed to be traded like that. I don't know what how modified his no trade clause would be. But listen, this honestly brought up a question of like, should the Leafs do the same with Marner? Depends. The cap's going up. If you want to burn Tavares' contract and maybe potentially get rid of Riley's contract, then fine. Sign Marner to $14 million. Whatever. Because I think Marner is going to ask for 14. No, listen, hold on. Let me finish. The cap's going up
Okay.
anyway. You sign him for Draisaitl money, okay? And then maybe 2026 McDavid comes over from the Leafs, and then you have the money to sign him. Or what I think they should do is figure out a way to get rid of him now, okay? Because if you're insisting on keeping all these guys, maybe signing JT to 5, I don't know. What are you going to pay Marner? What are you going to tell him? Is he better than William Nylander? He's the Leafs MVP right now. How much money does Mitch Marner actually deserve? But what do you think Mitch Marner should make? Just tell me a number, and I'll continue. What's his worth on this team? AAV.
Okay. And Mikko Rantanen's asking for 14 million. Marner should be asking for.
Does he make more than Matthews? Matthews making 13.25.
No. Mikko Rantanen has done the thing. We've seen him do it. Marner has not. We've not seen him come close to what Mikko Rantanen's done when it matters. Okay, so Marner should be asking for max 9.5, 10.
Holy shit! Are you serious?
I am 100% serious. He has done, bro. I don't care that he can put up points in the regular season, bro. I don't care when it matters most. If Marner is talking Mikko Rantanen numbers, he is out of his mind. There's no way.
9.5. Are you serious? Less than Pettersson.
Dude, I don't care about Pettersson because he's not playing up to his contract. You think Pettersson is owed $11.5 million? No.
Nine and a half for Mitch Marner. Okay, that guy.
Dude,
I honestly
okay.
Oh my. Okay, let me finish.
Pettersson deserve 11.5. No, listen. Does Pettersson deserve 11.5?
No.
Does Mikko Rantanen deserve 14 million?
No.
Okay, so what makes Marner want like 12.5, 13? Why? Because he plays with Matthews, who is better than him.
You know he's gonna ask for. He's not taking a pay cut. I'm just saying. In case this happens, it's more than likely Mitch Marner is going to ask for a bag. He is the Leafs.
Okay, then go to Anaheim or something.
And that is why they should trade him now. Because what if he leaves? Because what if? Here's the thing. Tree and Berube are not as easygoing as Sheldon Keefe and Dubas. If Keefe and Dubas were in this management position, like now, and Marner's contract was up, Dubas would pay him whatever the fuck he wanted. Okay, Marner. I guarantee you, Mitch Marner is going to want in between. He's gonna want more than Nylander, 100%. He's gonna get either between 12 and 14 million dollars long term deal. That's the deal I think he wants. Listen. That's what I think he thinks he wants. I guarantee it. Now, should they either wait it out until the offseason? They know they're gonna get an extension, hopefully for cheaper, or do you trade him now? I think what the Avalanche did with the Rantanen is the exact same thing they should do with Mitch Marner. I don't care. His value is so high right now. You could probably get more than what the Avalanche got for Rantanen because he's the leading scorer on the Maple Leafs. Now, if Marner asks for $14 million, hypothetically, he asks for $14 million, and the team says no, he walks for nothing. He walks for absolutely nothing. So, I know you guys want to you guys are trying to win now, okay? But the right move, you clearly see it's not working with the core four. I don't care that Tavares' contract is coming up. You could get a better return than what the for Marner than what the Avalanche got for Rantanen. That's the truth. Where do you trade Marner? I don't know, but he's from Toronto. Listen, here's what I think is gonna happen. He's from Toronto. Okay, he's good with he loves the kid. Like the kids love him. Okay, I guarantee you. Hold on, I guarantee you. The Leafs are going to give him what he wants, and they're gonna extend him. That's what I think is gonna happen. I don't like. What do you see happening here? I genuinely think that's going to happen. They're going to give him what he wants, if not a slight pay cut from what he's asking for.
Bro, if he gets over 11, bro, I don't know what to say. He doesn't deserve over 11. He doesn't even deserve 11. He doesn't.
So is this contract right now fair enough at 10.9?
No. No, it's not. He should get 9.5 or max 10, not 10.9. I don't care if 10.9 is a 900,000 over 10. I don't care. Bro, if he's asking for over 11.5, there's something wrong with him. There's no way he should be asking for that type of money. He's shown that he's not capable enough or trustworthy enough to do something when we need him most. I don't care if he can put up 98 points in a season. Like, so what? Nugent Hopkins put up like 100 points one season. So who cares?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I care. Oh my god, he could put up 100 points. Okay, and Taylor Hall won the Hart 7 years ago. Dude, does anybody care? No.
No.
Like, bro, dude, if Marner's gonna ask for over 11 million in the summer, bro, you simply let it tell him, okay, you're not coming back, or we will fly you out to like Anaheim or something so that you can go play with them. Because we're not giving you money, bro. Or if he's asking for it right now, like, bro, if teams are calling, bro, just be like, yeah, okay, we'll trade you Mitch Marner. Bro, I would have. Okay, if there's no other offer on the table, I would have taken a Marty Natchez and Drury for Marner. I don't see why not.
But here's the thing. I don't think they're going to trade him. They're not going to trade him. So what's the option? They're not. They should trade him. So you either sign him for what he asks, because I know the Maple Leafs organization. You think he deserves 9.5. I think he deserves a little bit more than that. He should be on par.
No,
what'd you say?
9.5 to 10, not 9 to 9.5.
Okay, 9.5 to $10 million for Marner. I think he deserves Nylander contract, 11.5, maybe 12, maybe just a bit more.
Ow.
But not more than Austin Matthews. And that's where my thing is, because Matthews is their guy. And I know Marner's going to want more than Matthews. You can see it. He has an argument right now that he is the leading point scorer on the team. And arguably, we're playing their best hockey without Austin Matthews. That's an argument right there. However, I don't know what the Maple Leafs are going to do in this situation. It's very tough, because they either sign him to an insane contract, or tell him to pack his shit and go somewhere else and leave for free. But and they'll lose him for nothing, which is unfortunate.
Okay. Bro, if they lose him for nothing, that is Brad Treliving's fault.
No.
That is his fault. And again, I still do not rate Brad Treliving. I'm not a huge fan yet. But if they lose him for nothing, then I will continue to be not a fan of Brad Treliving. You better get something in return if he doesn't resign. Because, oh my god. Goodness.
Because if he doesn't sign, you basically lose a guy like Mitch Marner for nothing.
When we know teams are calling for him, we're like, yeah, what about Mitch Marner? Like what's the situation?
The Hurricanes were a team doing that.
Like, come on, bro. Bro. It's he. I don't see them trading. I don't see it. It's either we're going to lose him for nothing, or he's going to get overpaid. And he's going to be here for another, 7-8 years.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They're not trading him, man. They're not trading him.
And then I'm going to be like, I have to watch him skate around in a corner and lose the puck battle for half the game when I watch Leaf games. Okay. And then I'm like, yeah, here we go.
Okay, but what happens if he puts up over a point per game in the playoffs and they go to the Eastern Conference Final?
Okay, then that'll be a different discussion. But right now, we are having this discussion right now because he hasn't been
Like,
to a conference final.
If they get bounced in the first round and he gets like 2 points, obviously, he does not deserve $14 million. Because if Rantanen is asking for 14, just imagine what Mitch Marner, who says we're treated like gods here, is going to ask for from the Maple Leafs, who practically do whatever he says. Just imagine.
I'm giving Rantanen 14 million before I give Marner 14 million.
Because Rantanen has done the thing. Rantanen has done the thing. He's won more than one round in playoffs multiple times.
Yeah.
Marner has won.
Numerous.
One. He's won.
The Moose, I trust the Moose more if I needed him in a clutch situation more than Marner. Because, hey, guess what? Rantanen, the Moose doesn't actually lose the puck battles in the zone when he could just, and he's not forcing passes to McKinnon. Like, he's actually doing things on his own because he doesn't need McKinnon. Bro, oh my god.
Before Justin crashes out, I think we're going to leave it at that.
And Morgan Riley is still on the hockey team, but he's still here. I've got no update that he's been traded or anything. He's still here because you know why? Because he's married. Because he's married and has a kid with Tessa Virtue. That's the only reason.
So much for Morgan Riley ever coming on this podcast ever, or Mitch Marner.
I will. Oh my! They will never be on the podcast. They will never ever be on the podcast. And I'm glad I didn't go this yesterday because it would have been on site if I saw Morgan Riley.
Oh my goodness.
And Marner.
The hatred towards these players. I mean, listen, they've broken your heart. I don't know how many seasons now.
Many.
So understandably, you have every right to be upset. But now we're gonna see what happens with the Leafs. It does not look like they're gonna trade Marner because nothing is heating up with that. It doesn't influence Tree to trade. I don't think the fact that he saw that Rantanen deal, because I feel like he believes in his guys. With this team that they have, he believes that they may or may not be able to go on a run here. We'll see what happens at the deadline, because that's almost 2 months away, or just under 2 months away. And we'll see what the team's looking like heading into playoffs and where they finish in playoffs, because where they finish in the regular season could determine how well they do in the playoffs. They could get an easy first round matchup. They can get Tampa Bay. They can get Boston, or they even get Columbus. But we don't know until we're there. It is only January 28th. We still have a little. They've got a 5-game swing. They've got 5 games before they head to the Four Nations face-off, and then they're back for a late February skid before it's March and trade deadline talks. So we will see what happens with the Toronto Maple Leafs and Mitch Marner. I know it's a hot topic in Toronto media right now. Trade this guy before his contract's up. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if Justin thinks that's going to happen. He either gets what he wants, or he may be signed to another team, and the Maple Leafs will get nothing. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for this episode of this AJ Sports Podcast. Well, what do you got to say? What do you got to say now about the Leafs?
No, nothing. Not about the Leafs. Off topic. Super Bowl. Chiefs, Eagles, by the way. I'm going to just say this. I'm going to put it on record. This might be the worst Super Bowl of all time. Nobody wants to see Chiefs, Eagles, and nobody wants to see Kendrick Lamar and SZA at the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm telling you right now, every year I watch the game, okay, I will be watching the game, turning off the halftime show and putting it back on for the third quarter. I'm telling you right now, nobody wants this matchup along with the halftime show, okay? Oh, bro, I'm telling you, nobody wants this.
K-Bot?
Like, nobody
wants K-Bot?
K-Bot fans are going to be in the arena. Like, bro, Kansas fans, bots. Eagles fans, bots. Bro, this is absolutely horrific. And you know what? Drake's performing the same night as the Super Bowl. You know what, bro? Whole of Australia is going to be going insane for Drake. For the sixth God. You already know, bro. Let's go. That's the boy. Let's go, Drake. I see behind you the canvases. Let's go. That's the boy.
Right
yeah.
Right there. For all the dogs and Darkling Devil tapes.
Yeah, shout out to the sixth God. Shout out Drake. That's the boy. But yeah, bro, for real, like, this might be the worst Super Bowl of all time. And I know we don't talk about football here, which I'm kind of glad. But bro, this Super Bowl, I'm not looking forward
We
to
do
it at
not.
all.
We do not.
Yeah,
We are not fans of Kendrick Lamar on this podcast. So if you like Kendrick
no,
Lamar, you better
no,
stop watching now because it's on site when we see you.
yeah, yeah,
K-bot, K-bot,
yeah,
K-dot, whatever. Get out of my face. Drake is
yeah.
the G. And by the
This is
way,
God.
most streams of 2025 so far as an artist. So look at that.
Already at a billion, by the way,
Already at
and
a
it's not
billion.
even.
Already at a billion. Like,
Already, it's not even. Just put it out there.
but that's another topic for another potential
Like
podcast.
another podcast.
Another podcast we could potentially start with music. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But hopefully you guys enjoyed
Yeah.
this episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends, and hey, we're second week in a row. We're hanging in there. We're going strong. We're going strong.
In there.
So we're gonna try and get back to you next week. We'll see what happens over this next week. The Maple Leafs are on their road trip. We're getting closer to Four Nations face-off. Oh, I also wanted to say Pietrangelo is out. They're looking for a replacement. Drew Doughty should be their guy.
Yes. You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I would love Drew Doughty because like it would be a feel good story that he hasn't played this season and like he gets in there and like he's been obviously like Canada, like Drew Doughty, like just top tier Canadian, right? But like I don't know, like does Dougie Hamilton get in there? Does Evan Bouchard get there? Like I don't know. I don't know who takes Petrangelo's spot. It'll be interesting though. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Uyghur, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah,
We will.
I think that'll do it.
That'll do it. We will see you guys next week. Take care and peace.